And welcome back to another episode of YounderTales, man. This is a good one right here, you guys. This guy here started the whole journey with me with ripping lips. As when I was a kid, my dad used to take me fishing. His dad also, my dad and his dad are brothers. This here is my cousin. And when I used to go fishing, he used to go fishing all the time. But he's younger than me, but he used to go fishing all the time with me as well. And when I got older, when I started my journey of learning how to become a better fisherman and step my game up, I brought him as my road dog. Anthony Williams, a.k.a. Sweetwater Sweets, a.k.a. Sweet Tooth, a.k.a. Bang Bang. My cousin.
Yes, sir.
One of the originator with me with Ripping Lips. Welcome to the show. You know, when I started YounderTales, the original stories I have is with this guy right here.
Man, so let me tell you. Coming up, he mentioned the coming up story. Now let me tell you how rough it was. It was very rough because being a young urban male, when you like 22, 23 years old, you want to go to the nightlife. You want to go San Francisco. You got a nice car. You want to go show it off. So I'm like, where we going tonight? What we doing? This guy would say, we're going to Clear Lake at 5 in the morning. Why are we leaving at those times of the morning? That's the life of a fisherman. It's not the life of a club guy. So women don't get it confused.
I kind of stripped you from your youngness when all your partners was all, man, we about to turn up at the club, man. Everybody going out. We kicking it all night. And then I'll be like, how you going to do that and go fishing? Because we definitely going fishing. Hey, I used to literally pick him up from high school. As soon as he got out of school, I'll be sitting there with the truck. I had a little Nissan Frontier with the Illuminati boat on the back. And he would jump in. And then we would actually go fishing back in the days. And what the cool part was, we used to go fishing when we was kids on the Delta. Our father would take us. And then when we got older and I had the boat and the truck, I was like, man, let's do like we used to do. We'll just go going back to the Delta and go fishing all the time. Mm-hmm. And then we would drive up here from the Bay Area, from Oakland. And it was so many years because it was kids. And a lot of years went by with us not fishing. And all them times, them trips we took fishing, we never paid attention on how to get here. So when we got here, you know, this is before you could just pull up your phone and just see it. You know, you had the old school get the map book and then sit there and be like D27, 65, and then you had to like find out where you was and all that. So we out there trying to find a spot to fish, and we could never find nowhere to fish. And we used to get so mad, like, the Delta is so big. How are we not finding nowhere to fish? And then me and my Bang Bang, we stumbled across, and we got so lost one day, we ended up in Discovery Bay. And then we started fishing. Bang, bang. Remember them days when we used to pull the boat out and back in Discovery Bay when there was only a handful of homes and we used to drag the boat down the rocks?
I'm glad you mentioned that story. Because I appreciate the Delta. I love the Delta. I love with the homes and everything they have done. And I remember when we first stumbled upon it, we slid down into the rocks and we met some of the locals, some of the natives. Because when you go down anywhere, you're going to have to meet the natives.
You got to meet the natives.
Right. So we met this guy. May brought us in. And we was like, man, I respect what you guys are doing. You guys are the best. And we was feeling, I think he invited you over later or something. I think you guys were drinking. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. But I'm telling this story to say.
No, because remember it was the two dudes and they had some girl there. And then they was extra low there, right? So this time we brought the boat, but where we parked there was fish right there, so we just fishing off the rocks. So then they came out and they was like extra loaded. They was like, man, you guys are the best. We was been watching from the window. You guys catching all these fish. So they was like asking us like, yeah, this is how we catch them. And then they had this girl they had 2 girls. So 2 girls, they was like, man, you guys are the best. You guys catch all these fish. Wow, talk about, my dad used to go fishing and all that. So then they was like, hey, the guy was like, man, come in the house, man. We have y'all a drink, man. It's cold outside. So we go in the house to have a drink. And then we have a drink with them and everything. And then the girls was like, oh, yeah, we love fishing, man. You guys, this is it. So they just kept on just getting hella turned up with us. Like, yeah, man, you guys are having so much fun. And then them guys was in the corner sitting there like, oh, hold on. They still in the show. Hey, my man came and I'm cracking jokes. He said, yes, I'm going to have to politely ask you guys to leave. So, remember we had to get up out of there like,
yeah, I did.
Damn, like you invited us. What you had? Why so much?
Why so much hate? That's why, man.
Hey.
The life of a fisherman is a lonely one.
Well, I mean, if you don't do tournaments, it don't got to be a lonely one, bang, bang. You can take photos. They say, I decided to bring you along. Man, we used to be at Don Castro. We used to be at Lake Chabot. We used to be at all these spots.
That's what makes Rippin' Lips great. Is that you feel like you have a group of people that love to do what you do too. I mean, it could be a lonely one.
Yeah, well, back in the days, it's definitely, I agree with you. Back in the days, it for sure was a lonely one because that's when people used to laugh at you if you said you went fishing. People didn't really respect the fishermen like that. So you can always find yourself, especially if you wasn't in the tournament scene, you can always find yourself being a loner, just going fishing. But that was kind of cool because then you was out there with nature. You wasn't really tripping, but it was always better when you had company. Oh. And now in today's time, with all the social media, it's like a big group and it's a family. You can get as much of it as you want. You can talk to one person, or you can talk to 100 people. Right, and spread the love. Right. But when me and you was coming up, yeah, it was just kind of like whoever, it's like who. You didn't run across so many people who like fishing. So that's why even with you, I didn't even ask. I just was like, you coming. Right. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to Don Castro. Hey, remember that time? We was in Don Castro and then they always closed the gates at 10 o'clock at Don Castro's, right? So one night we was there. The catfish were biting so cold, you had to have 2 poles out there. Mm. So then you could always see with the security guard or the fishing gang would come in, you could get an angle at them where we was sitting. So then we could always watch. So if they came, we was reeling 1 pole and just keep fishing. So then one day we was sitting there with the eye out, and then next thing you know, you hear somebody step on the stick, and you turned around, and then it was a fishing game. He came on a bike, and he came around the backside. It was oh, quite a lot of poles you guys got here. And he wrote us up tickets that time. Oh, and then the next time, just right after, right? So we at Don Castro, we used to catch so many catfish. We used to go stop at Safeway, get some shrimp from Safeway, cut the shrimp in half, and then you go out there and catch catfish, right? Don Castro and Castro Valley, right? Oh, yeah. So one day we go, and they close at 10, but it's always a security vehicle that'll come in with the lights and say, 10 more minutes, and I'm locking it up. So then that's when you knew, once he make that round, you got to come. Well, I guess they must hire somebody new or something, because that guy didn't come in and say nothing. He just came and just locked the gate at 10. Cuckoo, locked it up. So now we fishing, it's past 10, it's 10:30. We man, the guy's running late. We get a little bit more time to fish. Not knowing that new guy must have locked the gate. So then now it's 11 o'clock. We man, we better get up out of here because, that's fishy that the guy didn't come. And then we go to the gate and it was locked. And it's 11 o'clock at night. Remember back, man? And then I was in a little truck and I was man, we ain't about to stay the night here. They locked gate. So then at Don Castro, it was like a hill, dirt hill, and there was homes up here. And then here go the road with the gate. So then I told Sweetwater, I said, buckle up. We went off to the side of the road. I said, everybody in the holes up there had to hear us. It's 11 o'clock at night. We dipped around that fence right there. Came out. We went home. We laughed about that shit all night. And then the next day, or I would say not the next day, but the next time we went, it probably was a week or 2 later, we went back and they put Lawless Post there now, going all the way up to
They was on to it.
Yeah, they was on to it. So you ever see post up at Don Castro, you go fishing? Yeah, that was because of us, because we just all around, you know. But yeah, Don Castro was in until they pumped all that water out that one time, and then we was done. But after that, we went to the.
You can still go up there and catch some trout though.
You go up there and catch some trout?
Yeah, when they plant them.
Hey, that was so sick to have that like square dead in the bay, in the heart of the bay, that you can just like be in the busy city life. And then instantly, like minutes away, you just tucked in this little area where it was fishing and wilderness and everything. Yeah. That was like, that was
Castro is still a jewel.
Yeah.
Some real people from the Bay gonna know Don Castro.
Yeah, exactly. Don Castro, man. So that was sick, man. That was sick. But man, when the Hit Rock was over here, and then he was talking about when we first brought the Hit Rock over and to the house, and we was fishing and showing them the crappies, and then remember when you fell in the water and then your feet locked up?
These are YounderTales.
These are straight YounderTales. You know what I'm saying? Because you fell in the water like every other year.
I did.
You did something where you fell in the water.
That's why. I mean, if you don't know how to swim, don't let that deter you from fishing.
Yeah,
because you're gonna live. It might be a story to tell afterwards, you know. But as long as you got your life jacket on, life jackets are key.
Yeah.
Keep your life jacket on out here in the
Gotta
water.
have your life jacket on.
You gotta have your life jacket. But it might be a story.
It's definitely a story. Every time you go fishing and somebody fall in the water, that's gonna be a story for life.
No, that's a story.
But you done fell like several times in the water. I had to rescue you so many times out the water, you know, and that's just me. That ain't even other family members that had to rescue you.
You know.
Hey, one of my favorites is when we was going out to Patubo. We going striper fishing. It's like December. Remember, it was like butt ass cold. And then I'm like, but I know the stripers, they like boiling in this spot. Like, we just got to get there. We got to get there. So then we finally get to the spot. It was me, Sweetwater, and then my wife was with us. So it was super cold. We got all these jackets on and got like 3, 4, 5 jackets on. Right, he's like this sitting there. So then I pull up to this pilot, and I tell the wife, I was like, "Hey, hold on to the pilot so we can throw the rope around there to tie it off." So she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Hold on to the pilot over there so we can tie it off." And she was like, "What'd you say?" Because she was like in the front of the boat. And Aunt was like, "Oh, goodness, I'll just do it." And now I turned the boat off, and now the current, the pilot is right there. Now the boat is drifting. Aunt grabs the pilot like this with 2 hands. Alright, and now he's holding on to it, but the motor is off, so now the boat is drifting. So now he's doing this here, and then I look at him, then he catches eyes on me, he looks at me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's over for you." And then he goes in, and then he falls into the delta. Doosh! He goes all under the bunk. He comes in with the big ass coat. He was all puffed up like that.
I love these stories. I
got him out the water. He was frozen.
I love these stories right here. But you know what? And fishermen, let me tell you this. Don't be deterred if your boat break down in the water. You're just getting started. I know you see all these guys with these nice boats, and they're getting them maintenance, and they're getting them serviced properly. But understand when you're coming up and you're young out there.
Yep.
So let me tell some stories about how many times we broke down on the water.
Talk about it.
Come on, man. And this guy would always have the calmest look on his face when we broke down in the middle of nowhere. You know, like you can't just get out and start walking. What are you gonna do? This guy would always have the calmest look on his face. You know, that's what made me calm. With anybody else, that's why you pick when you go out to this water, please, pick your captain wisely.
You gotta pick the captain wisely. You are right. Because we broke down a lot.
We broke down a lot, man.
We broke down.
You know.
Some of the funniest times was when we would come out here to the Delta, and I had the Illuminati, we had a little motor, and then we would go park and fish, and then those pull start motors, you have to pull so many times, like your arm be hard with the right arm. because you done did that for 15 minutes. Then you switch to the left arm, and then it still don't want to go, but it semi want to go. And then now this arm turn. Then you got to action part, and you got to go start pulling on it. So the ant start pulling. It's like midnight, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. Now we cold. Like, oh my God, we got to get this boat going. So I can't tell you how many times that the motor wouldn't start. So we'd be like, man, we got to paddle back. And it was like maybe 2-3 miles. We got to paddle to the other side to where we parked.
Oh man.
So then we had the oars. So now, granted, like I'm like 25. You had to be 19, 18, something like that. Right. So we paddling, right? Now the current is pushing us. Like, come on, Ant, you can do it. Like, let's go, man. We can't, because if you ever been broke down and you had to paddle and the current is pushing, you can't even just stop for a second to catch your breather, because as soon as you get your breather, you're gonna start slipping back. So you gotta stay up on it. You gotta stay up. Like, come on, Ant. So I'm like motivating the right. This is the part where he used to kill me. This is where you got family. It's like when you with your family. So then I paddle, and then he'd be like this. And then next thing you know, I'm paddling, he's on the side of the paddle. And next thing you know, the boat start turning like this, because I'm extra paddling, and he not paddling. And I'm like, come on, man, you got to pick it up, man. What you doing, man? And then he'll just look at me and start falling out laughing. Come on, man. And I'll be like, seriously? You laughing right now? Like, this is...
Because I see the intensity on your face and knowing that it's life or death at this moment.
It's 1 in the morning. We're drifting down the Delta. The more we don't paddle. And so then when I paddle, he's laughing. Now I'm paddling in a circle. And I'm going to circle. And I'm on fire. I start paddling. We're about to start. We're going to die.
You understand the severity of what's at hand right now. Because
like he don't understand what's happening right now. No. We're drifting away down the river.
I'm gonna tell you, man, it's a peace that you get on this water. It's a peace of mind that you get. You could be stranded. You could be on an island somewhere, but the peace that the water gives you, man.
We had some good times. Just especially too when we was in Oakland, and just we used to hang out with our old partners, and then shit just started happening in Oakland all the time. And then we found fishing, and then next you know, we wasn't there no more. We was always on the water fishing. And then people be like, man, where y'all at, man? This happened. Like, man, we was out there fishing. And then, but one of the best things that ever happened to us was when we was just always out there hanging with our partners, and kicking and all that. And then we start going fishing all the time. The coolest part of it all was we was catching all these catfish and stripers and stuff. And then we would come back home to our grandmother's house where we was staying. And on her block, it was a lot of older people that used to fish but just couldn't fish because they just couldn't get around like they used to. And then we were able to bring them fish, so they all would cook. So my grandmother would have packages, and once we brought them back, and be like,
from the South, you know about Fish Friday,
man. Yeah, so Fridays they looked for us to bring these fish in, and everybody on the block got to eat fish, and it was all due to me and Sweetwater Sweets. And this was like the beginning parts of Ripping Lips. It was. And the coolest part is we got so many stories.
Man, that's Yonder Gang, man. That's a YounderTales.
That YounderTales, brother. And we got so many more YounderTales.
If you're a fisherman, I know you got YounderTales too.
You know they do. You can't tell me you fish and don't have any YounderTales. And that's what's so cool about this platform, because what we're gonna have in the future is the fans and the people who follow the show. They gonna be able to come on and express and tell their tales.
YounderTales.
Yeah, so we all can share these tales and just get weak, because they said if you fish, or you just outdoors, or an outdoors person, or you just get it in, you got to tell the tale. And this is definitely gonna be the platform to do it. And Sweetwater Sweets, you know what? You gonna be a regular, because we got so many stories to tell these people. But we can't give them all in one serving. But as it stands right now, what we just gave them was a couple of YounderTales.
Yes, sir.
Yeeta D. Sweetwater Sweets, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Like we said, striper time, man. We having a great time out here, man. We using Hellraisers and Chartreuse swim bait. We get the buffalo. We using braided line, 65 pounds. 60 pounds. It was just like a 70-pound striper cut, and like I believe it's the record. So we just out here just trying to get it. Ripping lips, baby. Stay tuned for more videos. Ooh, they boiling. Heat the